Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Ha, brothers and sisters. Finally, for the past couple months, we've been seeking ways to educate people about how to come to this country without going through, without defaulting, without getting yourself banned or without, getting caught by the law. So many ways, so many things. It seems like the only way a lot of people think they can come to Canada is to get a visa, come and visit for a couple weeks, then go back and move on with their business, regardless of situations being different from the day you set off to Canada. Today, I'm here to give you a new, just a good news. Okay, I'm not gonna give you everything because, guys, I see my people, those people who are watching, those people who needs information. The information that I provide sometimes seems to be a lot much too much for them because they don't even know where to start. Even getting the proper documentation from the country you're coming from seems to be a big hurdle, especially from Ghana. I don't know about Nigeria, but from Ghana, acquiring your own passport, your own, let's say, birth certificate, there's a lot of transits that you have to go through. So I'm going to go through this step by step, and I'm going to save some information for your own good. But for those of you who are planning on visiting Canada, or if you are in Canada already, I'm going to take my time. Yes, indeed. If you are a Canadian visitor, a tourist, can the government can you change your visa to becoming a permanent resident? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Okay. There are so many ways, 7 legal ways. If you come here as a visitor and you want to stay for whatever these 7 reasons, yes, you can stay. You can stay in Canada. There are processes that you can go through. Very easy. Guys, listen, I meet so many people who are visiting Canada. And then I see them doing something. And then I asked, but you're here visiting. Your husband is on a business trip, or your husband opened up a business in this country, or let's say your husband is in partnership, business partnership, or your husband's partnerships or business partnerships are in Canada. How is it that you can go to school as a visitor? Guys, listen, there's so many ways. Unfortunately, our community is lacking so much information. Why? Because the same community people don't want you to have it. There's so many information, there's so many legal ways you can stay. If you're a visitor in Canada, you want to stay in the country, you want to work. If you want to work as a visitor, Canada has 7 different ways today. And again, I'm just going to take my time, okay? Today, we're just going to take our time. I really like her too. Okay, thank you. There's so many information. I'm up for so much legal ways that you can, let's say, listen, summer is coming up, okay? You're a Ghanaian. You have work. You're a teacher. Don't you guys have summer break? You want to visit Canada? You don't have all the necessary requirement, or you do have the requirement. Look to Canadian workshops, conferences. These are some of the ways you can visit the country. Get someone who knows you already. Let them give you an invitation. Your brother lives in Canada. You want to just come and visit. Get them to give you an invitation, and you can come into the country. You have a job. Let your job give you a vacation. Take your vacation, get your bank information in check. You don't have enough money? Get someone to assist you with all the documentation. It's not too difficult. You know what? In our country, in Ghana, in order for you to get anything, it seems like good practice is a taboo. So even though there are legal ways of doing things, the average Ghanaian think you have to lie about everything. Guys, be frank, be transparent with people. And these are the people Canada is looking for. So there's so many ways and means as an average person who has a job, you can visit. But let's say you are visiting, you're already in the country, okay? And you want to stay. You have 7 legal ways of staying in a country with Canadian government granting you a permanent residence. What are some of these ways? I'm going to go through this one by one. Like I said, if you need further information than this, I'm going to give you an email address where you can connect and more information. Let's say you are in a country already. You are a Canadian visitor. You are here. You want to stay. Something changed. Something changed about your situation back in Ghana, your situation back from the country you're coming from. There are legal ways you can stay in Canada. But for those of you who wants to come to school and you have the means to pay for your tuition, listen, tuition fee from outside is expensive. Tuition fees from outside. If I am a Canadian domestically, those who lives in the country, what is domestic? Chai. So I live in a country, the countries that I don't need a visa to go to are called domestic countries. Canadian, other provinces are the domestic countries. So if you live in a country like myself, I pay less tuition fee from the person who lives outside. So, but there's so many means you can come into the country as a visitor. And if you like the country, you're visiting the country, you like Canada so much that you feel like, oh, you have the qualification to find a job. Yes, you can seek a job. I'm going to leave an email address where you can send a specific, this is someone who has the means to come to the country. Or if you're here already, you're in the country already, you don't know where to go to. Listen, something is inspiring me to do this because there are good people who has good reasons why they can't go back. They're very good people with good reasons why they cannot go back. So let me just, okay. So let me leave you. Also, you are doing very well. Thank you. I'm going to leave you an email address. I'm leaving my email address. These are the people that I may receive an email from, okay? If you are in the country already and you want to stay, you came as a visitor, a tourist visa. Last week, we saw what went on in Nigeria. There are 7 legal ways to stay in the country. If you're a Ghanaian and you're visiting the country, you want to stay, there are 7 legal ways you can stay in the country. I don't want to bore you people who lives in Ghana. But if you're outside and you have means of getting, you want to come and see, test the water, see how cold it is in this country. You like the cold, you're tired of the weather hot, you're visiting your cousin, you're visiting your auntie in the country, but your situation has changed. There are 7 legal ways. I spoke with so many truck drivers who lives outside Ghana, who drives trucks. Minya, this is one of them. You are in a country, you have an experience in truck driving. Listen, you are in a country already, you guys, pay attention. You are in a country already. I spoke with a couple truck drivers. You're visiting the country, Canada. Amanfo, there's an easy and legal ways that a truck driver, you love to drive a truck. There's so much truck driving opportunities in this part of the world. Who makes a very good money? You want to stay in a country. Uba be visite wo auntie, wo nuaba, wo boyfriend, wo kunu, wo mpana, wo mpese wo beko. Amanfo, you can stay. There are many reasons, which are good reasons why you don't want to go back. Yes, you can stay. We a visitor. Uba be visiting, you are visiting. Okay? You want to stay. You can stay. And because our community lacks so much, and we only came to get money and just leave the country back again, but then our country still remains the same. So they go back and they come right back to Canada, right back to the United States. They can never stay in Ghana permanently. But yet, we came and wasted so much time without acquisition, without acquiring a stay, without finding out what made Canada the first place, why you even went to the Jujuman, why you didn't sleep, went to church, went to all kinds of people to get you a visa to come to Canada. And you're finally here and you don't want to learn what makes Canada successful, what make certain things easy. We didn't learn anything. The houses are being taken. Businesses are being owned by people who don't want to help us. So listen, there are so when I sit here and I say there is an opportunity, yes, there is an opportunity. If you want to listen, listen. If you want to be a part of the bunch who doesn't know how to where to change their lives around, who does not have the ability and the capability to turn things around, to realize, listen, I've wasted enough time already, and you want to be part of them, join them. But some of us want to go ahead, and we want people with us. So yes, there are information. There are so much information that we can all acquire to help ourselves, like how to make money in this country. Let me tell you a secret, okay? When I first came here, of course, we didn't have people to teach us certain things. Simple things like credit. Ghanaian, an average Ghanaian, an average Nigerian, average African, they don't know how much it's worth to have a good credit. How much, like you see the big houses, you think they brought in $1 million and purchased it, or $300,000 to put. No. Good credit. We spoiled our credit. Our people helped us spoiled, ruined our credit. That is why when I started talking about buying things with credit card now, a fellow Ghanaian who is very, very lacking a lot of knowledge about credit challenged it until a lot of people came out and say, "Bam, woman, what you're chatting about? This is how people live in this country. We never knew it. We ruined our credit." But now we are picking up the pieces back again. So when I first came here and held a job, I didn't know how to keep a credit. We didn't even know how important credit is. Simple. Until now. Until you want to have good things. Until you want to have the opportunity to make your own decision. Until you want to have the authority to go to a bank and be called Miss Tech, Miss That, or pick up your car and just go. Until then, our credits were ruined over only a simple couch. Some of us, shoes. Some of us, dresses. Some of us, restaurants. Some of us, so many foolishness. Some of us, they took out credit money and sent it to Ghana to buy a mud house. A house they've never slept in. A house they've never even spent more than 4 months inside the house. A house they themselves are funding to keep it on the ground. So we came here and ruined our credit. So recently, when I started realizing how good credit card, having a good credit is, I went to the bank. I wanted to buy a new car. And when I walked into the dealer by myself, and there was another person with me who was new in the country. Guys, listen. I walked into the dealer with a new immigrant who doesn't even have his papers. So when I walked in, I said, I need a new car. That time, I had 10,000 be cash to me. Say me the down payment. I wanted to give it a down payment. I said, I have money. I want to do a dance, but I want a new car. And I'm talking about $30,000 to $40,000 car. But because I want my monthly payment to be less, I'll move into the immigration part of it. Stay with me. My credit was so bad that the interest was around 14, 13. The cheapest they got for me for financing was 11%. Guys, in this country, when your credit is bad, that's the, like, the interest you pay on anything determines based on your credit. And the person who was with me is a new person. And I've been living in this country at that time, let's say 27, 20 something years. Because I'm talking about a couple years ago, just a shy years ago. So this person who is new in the country, we had to use his credit, his name. And his interest was 7% because he's a new credit. Chai. Since that day, my head started going. Even if I am not correct, I spin my head around. I bury my head in the sun. And I said, Mavis, I had a decent job. But in this country, it's about how faithful, how disciplined you are. And I turned myself around. And I became a new creation. Behold, old is gone, a new creation. Today, I have the best, listen, I have the best rate, line of credit, best. So we are teaching it. We are telling our brothers and sisters. And because of me, because of what I've been saying, some people have started, get your credit back on track. So the same way, other people are teaching how Canada is wonderful for their brothers and sisters to come, and the ways and the means people can come. Our own is saying, oh, you're lying. What you're talking about, Canada is not good. Canada is not good. But yet it is so freaking cold in this country as we are speaking. And the same people cannot run and go to Ghana. It is cold in this country. And they come back and they make fun of you. They come back and sit in front of these cameras and say, hey, I am eating beef. How many people can go to the beef market in Ghana to go and buy a posh pork, turkey tail, beef, sirloin, even fish, a whole fish? How many people, how many teachers, how many nurses can do groceries $700 like some people comes and tell you from abroad? They are saying abroad is not good, but yet they are living there. They don't want to come. They don't want to come back to Ghana. I knew someone who was deported and out of her own mouth saying even if they told her and gave her money to come for vacation in Ghana, she would not have come. But yet, when we are telling people that these are some of the ways you can come. Listen, some of you were deported 10 years ago. There's a way for you to come back. I want to say, where Jimmy? One say Jimmy, you know. One say, with Jimmy, and my what tell poto yemu. I had to say, anoma, we attache, eh? What atachem? Obetineni no. Na kwa labitebi. Abe son say, so. Anko ye na no di tina baby or tina. Enka at least ewie bi bebo, insuo bi bebo, inframe bi bebo, nanka watetene ho afri anea no atache ni mo. But nkrofobia ayom ho jimifo te say anoma wato atachem. Ena fe ye dede sama. I confirm kwa labite. Ena ma so omo say cha. That is what is happening to some of you. So what I'm saying is that, listen, it is your right as a human being to be mobile, to go anywhere, movement, to move around on this planet. Okay? The world wickedness has put some bars against some people. And some of us here, even though we are in that, we are over the other bar, these same bars prevents us from achieving. When I first wanted to repair my credit, when I first went to the bank, I will say it and I'll say it again. It was an Indian man. The bank right there. When I told him that I wanted at least, don't give me a credit card. I don't want the bossinya. Give me secure one. A secure credit card is the one that you put the money on and feed it to the card. And based on the monitor, they monitor your and that is also tied to the Canada revenue system, that the credit system. So it is your own money, but then it is being monitored, and that goes towards your credit. And the credit is a number. The number tells how diligent you are with your bills. I went in there, I said, I need a secure credit card. And because, again, your color, you are not trusted. So this man, although the bank approved me, the man canceled the credit card. So I was home 5 days, 3 days. I was waiting for the card. When I called the bank, they said it was canceled. So to go to the bank and find out why it was canceled, the guy said he saw a bill with another company that I owed. I haven't paid. And I'm talking about years ago, that the bank has even, I'm holding that same credit card. Capital One is where we all started from. Let me tell you something. The man canceled the credit card. It took my own one, a Ghanaian guy who was, I went there 4 months later, and the guy said, okay, come into my office. And the guy said, as we were talking, he took my documentation. And as we were talking, he clicked something and he said, did you say you had a bad credit? I said, yep. He said, no, you just got approved a very big money. I said, eh? He said, if you had a bad credit, even if the bank would approve you a credit card, it would have been like, let's say 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, but this is big. So I don't think you had a bad credit. Let me tell you the fact, okay? So when we are here speaking to you, it is because you don't understand Indian, you don't understand Chinese, Korean, you don't understand it, Japanese, you don't understand it, Filipino, you don't understand it, and also when you talk about Turkish, you don't understand Turkish, Poland, you don't understand Poland, you don't understand many of these languages, and they are speaking in their language. Some of them are speaking English, but with a very heavy accent that you may not necessarily get all the information they're trying to say. So I'm here Again, many other sisters and brothers are also paving ways, showing you how they made it. And I'm here to tell you that those bars, it is because we didn't stay together to break those barriers. So yes, if you want to come to Canada as a visitor, yes, hey, go get your documents ready. You're here, you want to stay. There are 7 ways for you to do that. I'm going to get you one. I'm going to give you one. Let's say you're visiting in a country, okay? And you have a driver's license. You have an experience as a truck driver. And you want to stay in a country. You can enroll in a truck driving school. Once you get your license, AZ or EZ, EE, whatever the license which allows you to drive as a truck driver, you can now look for work. Okay? Once you look for work, which truck driving has tons of them. Your job, the employer can offer you work. Just make sure the employer has LMIA. The LMIA is one that allows the employer to hire an international person. At that time, you can start your process. Once they offer you the job, you can now use it, because when you're outside, it is a bit difficult, okay? It's a bit difficult looking for work when you are in Ghana, when you're in Nigeria. But if you're in the country as a visitor, you can look for work easily than if you are outside. There are another ways and other means, but I'll take you from here and I'll stop you from here, because a lot of times you guys get the information and then it start getting you to be dizzy. So this is one of them. If you're a student, you're in a country, please let me know. If you're a visitor, you're in a country, please let me know. You want to stay, you have not defaulted anything, you have not gone overstay. Just recently, construction workers were given a PR, a permanent residence. Just recently, a permanent resident, visitors who came into the country, got into the construction field, and were working in fear. Canada government said, make it quick, put your application in, we'll grant you a stay. Because why? There was a lot of shortage in the country. Okay? If you're a business person, you want to come into the country, guys, come in here, and there's so many different steps you can take to grow your business and stay in a country. If you have not yet shared this video, please do it, because I don't want to give you everything, because I know my people. You're going to come back, you're going to be texting and doing all kinds of recordings. Although we've spoke about everything, guys, there's so much in stock. Okay, there's so many means, not only Ghana alone, there's so many avenues opening up. So stay tuned and keep watching, keep sharing the video. But today it is for visitors. Don't get twisted. Get the information proper, because I get some calls where, oh, you were telling us and I need a way. I'm not doing anything for you. Go do your own research. The information is very quick. You can call me and say, Miss, I just walked a guy through the express entry, okay? Because they finished their IELT, the IELT. The IELT test is the only test that proves your English proficiency for the Canadians. They want to test you. So you cannot start your process with express entry if you have not done one of those tests. Guys, share the video. As I said, also Lady May, I'm not dizzy listening to you. Keep doing the good work. But fit in Canada. Would your woman know Kasakura Eben? Or say, Eben, I see food we don't. Please share the program, okay? I'm for listen, some of this information I'm telling you, say, easy, but Ghana for no say. Let me say this. A lot of things that is legal, we think it's illegal. Some time ago, I said something. When you have a road for Ghana man will not trust the road because everything we've been programmed to do go through the Kululu ways that we find it unnecessary to do things right. Because everything, contracts are now being sold. The Ghanaians with higher education cannot get job in a country. The higher educated people, the ones who should have been running the country, the people who should have held contracts, hospital contracts, those who should have been, who are responsible for making sure the operation machines are being installed, the ultrasound machines are being installed. Those people are not getting the job. The Chinese has the job. The foreigners has the job. They're taking money. They're taking all kinds of money just to give you a contract. So by the time you get the contract, the contractor has already spent money. So you wonder why your road is not being done. You wonder why the schools are not being built. You wonder why the highways, the roads are just very, very with materials that are not quality, because your politicians are taking the money up front. So the higher educated people, doctors don't have money in the country. Okay, the people with the technically savvy, they can't get the job because they brought in this just recently Uganda. Is it Uganda? Paul Gagambi just deported a number of Chinese because they were mistreating the citizens, and his statement to them was that you cannot. The citizens of our country should benefit and they should be free and should not be bullied in their own country. So they deported the Chinese, the contractors, the business, the partners. They deported them just to teach the rest of the people in the countries that if we catch you mistreating our citizens, you are going to your country. But in Ghana and Nigeria, listen, it's not the same thing. The people, the foreigners, has the contracts, and the people who are supposed to gain access to those contracts are not getting access to the contract. And these are the reality on the ground. These are the reality on the ground. So it becomes so difficult for a Ghanaian who is well educated to live as they should. So a person who is well educated is not using even a fraction of what their brain should be using. They become crazy. And if you know human psychology, will tell you when an idle mind is a devil's playing field. So my brothers and my sisters, listen, I just wanted to tell you, I don't want to give you too much, to tell you the truth. Even me myself now, I am trying to absorb the information. But if you are visiting the country and you are in the country, please see somebody, okay? Of course, if you have to go back because you are building a road in Ghana, yes, go back, build the road. We need people to, build the roads. We need the hospitals. We need the proper infrastructure in the country. We need those policies. So go and make the policies, but make sure it benefits the Ghanaians. Okay? Make sure the African is the sole beneficiary of those resources that we are supposed to be at. God bless you all. Share the video. Continue sharing the video, and we'll bring you more. Okay? Share the video. Eben, I say Azonga Prince share. Listen, one will say, you guys are not listening. I say, man, please don't share the email address. Why? Don't to share the email address. I shared the email address. I did share the email address. Let me share the email address again. I did share. Please don't email me for anything else. I just said only for those of you who are visiting. Obano. Hotspot. Here you go. Here's the email address. Also, if you're seeking jobs, okay, if you're seeking jobs, I can, this is, there are certain places in Canada that is not friendly at all. Ontario is becoming very unfriendly because everybody else is so busy. They don't say hello to you. If you're coming with your own money, you want a place to settle. Nova Scotia, as somebody said, Nova Scotia, there's an acute shortage of all medical staff. Okay, if you are within the medical field, a nurse, doctor, family doctor, specialist, physio, there's so much shortage of medical staff in Nova Scotia. Housing and the cost of living is much cheaper than most part of Canada also, okay? And the people are also friendly. No, Nova Scotia, apparently, the people are also friendly. Um, this person originally migrated from Scotland in 2003 and moved to Calgary, Alberta, a beautiful city, but very, very expensive. Calgary, don't even try to go there, okay? Very, very expensive to rent or buy a house, okay? But they moved to Nova Scotia in 2016 and they have no regret. So if you are looking for a very, if you have your money and even your children, if you want your children after school to settle in any place of in Canada, Ontario is getting choked. Everything is so expensive because they are developing the country, trying to joint everything. So many people are retiring outside Ontario. Even the Canadians who lives in the country, they want to keep their same lifestyle, go to vacations and be able to do many things that they do. So in order for you to do that, a lot of people are moving outside Ontario, which is much cheaper than Ontario. Calgary, of course, those developed places are very, very expensive. So Nova Scotia, again, they said there's an acute shortage in the medical field. So if you are a nurse, if you're a doctor, you're looking for somewhere to go to, please make your way to Calgary. Make your way to Nova Scotia, apply for job, express entry, choose Nova Scotia. Choose Nova Scotia. If you're a nurse, you're applying for the express entry, choose Nova Scotia. The 7 ways to stay as a visitor. One of them, if you are able to succeed in them, which is the cheapest one, the easiest one, then you can apply as the Canadian Experience Express Entry application for your PR. They are granting people, so please come on in. Abba, Nyamin Shiram.